Again, our guys fought to get back in the ball game, and disappointed with where we dug ourselves a hole offensively in the first half. We're moving the football. We stopped ourselves. I think we had 5 or 6 drops in the game, critical third downs where we are going to get a first down if we stay alive with a catch, and we don't catch the football. We did run the ball better from week 1. You get in the second half, and then defensively we have 3 critical third downs. A third down on our sideline, which ended up leading to a field goal. The third down on Tony, which we were in 2-man coverage. We should have had the guy hemmed up there, and we don't cover well. He does a good job of buying some time in the pocket, and just critical downs of explosive plays. With Tony on the 57-yarder, we did a better job on Pitts in the second half as opposed to the first half. But again, our guys battled to get back in the game. You score there with an onside kick and 2 timeouts. You give yourself an opportunity to tie the ball game or win it with a 2-point conversion. We don't get the score there at the end. So disappointed that I felt like there was some self-inflicted wounds as far as drops, eye control defensively, and some things that we need to continue to improve. But they got a good football team. I appreciate how our guys came and competed, but that's not what we came here for. We came to win the game. I'll open it up for any questions.
Ben with the first one.
Will, in terms of your defense, you kind of mentioned some of those third downs, but coming in against that kind of offense, was there an emphasis on needing to kind of win those swing plays, sort of like those third downs?
Well, yeah. We want to win third downs no matter what offense we're facing. So disappointed that, just some critical third down conversions. There were 4 of 9, but, there was 3 that we had the speed option. We had what we wanted. The out, we had what we wanted. And the matchup on Tony, we had what we wanted. We got to convert there.
David Conger.
Well, you guys got the ball back with 8 minutes to go, down 2 scores. Why such a deliberate pace on that drive?
Well, it wasn't a deliberate pace. At the end of the day, we're trying to get first downs. They were playing more coverage. They were staying on top. We weren't able to get some explosives down the field. We're taking what they were giving us. You still have a minute to play in the game with 2 timeouts with an onside kick. And you got an opportunity to go win the game if you score. And so we had to go for it on a couple fourth downs. I don't know how many play drive it was, but there was a lot of plays strung together, and there weren't a bunch of explosive plays within the drive because in most situations they were playing coverage. So certainly, do we want more time on the clock? Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to take what they give you in that situation, and that's what we were being able to do to stay alive with the drive.
Big catch.
Will, this was your first road game of the year against the number 3 team in the country. What did you learn about your team today? Well,
again, the guys fought and competed. They kept fighting in the game to get themselves back in for an opportunity to be a 2-score game, and that's what we, in that situation, that's the best we could have done, all right? But at the end of the day, we came to win the game.
Colin Taylor.
Yeah, well, I guess kind of take me through, I know you guys had 2 timeouts on that final drive. Is there any thought about maybe doing some more tempo stuff on that or using some more timeouts knowing you needed to get the ball back?
Well, we're going to save our timeouts based on that. But, again, if you got a minute to go, you got an onside kick, you got an opportunity to get the ball. If you don't get the onside kick, it doesn't matter. If you get the onside kick and you have 2 timeouts with over a minute to go in the game, it gives you an opportunity. Could we have played with a crisper tempo? Yeah, but we were in situations where we made sure we were protected. They were playing coverage. They were teeing off up front because they knew we were going to have to throw the football. We couldn't run the ball. So in those situations, they played coverage. They eliminated big plays down the field. We had to take what they gave us. Probably could have played faster in some times right there. But, again, in that situation, we're just trying to stay on the field and trying to create an explosive, and we just never got to it.
Josh Campbell.
Will, how much thought, if any, did you give to onside kicking the first kickoff after the penalty?
I didn't. We did not in that situation. I didn't feel that way.
Mike Kuba.
Coach, I know throughout the week you talked about having the opportunity of potentially throwing in a guy like Luke Doty. After seeing some of those drops in the first half, was there a plan to put him in, or is that kind of just how things kind of played out today?
It's kind of things how they played out. We'll continue to evaluate our roster as we go. Get the best guys out there we feel like can help us win games.
Jim Sapakoff.
Will, what kind of adjustments did you make in your pass defense down the stretch, and were you pleased with some of the progress you saw there?
Well, Gene, I hate to tell you, we didn't do a whole lot of adjusting. We had a good plan coming in. We did not execute some things early. I mean, they throw the ball across the middle, got an opportunity for an interception. Two guys got to go make a play. We don't make that play. We had some opportunities in the first half. We just didn't cash in, and they did. In the second half, we tightened some things up as far as what we did, but it wasn't about what we called. We didn't really change the things we were doing. We just executed a little bit better in those situations.
And then, as far as the clock management, is that you doing the clock management, or is that Mike Bobo?
That's off. We're just trying to get down the field, guys. I mean, if they would have given us a 9-ball that we could have thrown and scored really fast, we would have done it. They weren't. They were playing. They were staying on top of the coverage in all situations, and we could have played a little crisper pace, especially there when it gets to about 4 minutes in the game. But we're trying to stay on the field to score, to make it a one-score game, to onside kick with 2 timeouts to go try and win the game. All right.
Eric Boynton.
Yeah, well, I know part of the plan that you wanted to execute today was staying away from explosive plays. You weren't able to do that, but was a lot of that just due to poor tackling? It seems like there's a few plays that could have been stopped shy that turned into big gamers because you guys didn't make the stop when you were in position. Well,
certainly Kadarius Toney. I mean, that situation we got beat, in coverage, but then we had 3 guys that go in there and try and thud the guy down. We don't teach that, and so, when you play against good people, I want to go back and watch the tape before I make a comment on tackling. But we'll go back and watch the tape. We as far as our game plan to shorten the game, to keep them off the field, we did a lot of those things well. We just didn't do enough to win the game.
Colin Taylor.
Yeah, well, kind of sticking with the secondary, what's your concern level now after 2 games? What do you feel like you guys have to do to kind of get back to maybe what you were?
Just tighten up coverage in some areas. I mean, I think there were some 50-50 balls. John made a really nice play on our sideline, but we got to get that needs to be an interception. We're not making the big play that we need. Obviously, Izzy had the one on the bunch route when he floated it out there, but we've got to make more momentum-changing plays for our football team. Gaining possession, gaining field position, getting our offense back on the field. We're not making those plays right now. We're not making some of the routine plays we need to make, just on a seam ball and things like that we're not doing enough of the things right.
Michael Lanana.
Kevin Harris obviously led the team in carries today, 100 yards, contributed in the passing game. What have you seen as far as his progression as a player, as a person in your program, and just what did you think of his performance today?
All of our backs have run the ball well when they've had opportunities. Kevin, Deshaun, Zaquandre didn't get much of an opportunity today. That wasn't by design. I mean, he's a good player. So all of those guys, when they've had their opportunities, they've run hard, they've caught the ball well, they've been good in protection. I've been very pleased with that position.
Hey, Will.
2 games in a row, your offense has come out and looked great right out of the locker room, and then it just sort of drifted away for a while, and you followed into that hole. Where do you see him from the sideline in that period where the offense, after that opening drive, just doesn't get much fun?
Well, I think drops. I mean, there was nothing that I didn't think they were doing that was stopping us. We had opportunities on 3rd down. We had opportunities for big plays. We had opportunities to keep the chains moving, and we don't do it. And we had, I think we had 6 at one point in the first half. So, Colin was very accurate with the football, competed his ass off, but we didn't. We just didn't catch the ball very well. I think if we caught the ball well as we were running at the time, we'd have been able to do some good things offensively. But we didn't do that, and obviously when you go against an offense like that, you don't answer. You dig yourself in a hole.
Dan Gaskins.
Hey, Coach, you've mentioned a couple of times now the drop passes and the missed tackles on defense. I was curious which of those is harder to go into practice now and try to correct before next week?
Well, we're going to work on both. I mean, I didn't talk about missed tackles. I just said I'd like to watch the film before I made a comment on the long run. There was, on the long pass to Toney, that was a couple bad missed tackles. So, but we'll go back and evaluate that, what we need to do. But we tackle each week. Our guys are on the jugs machines every day. So we work on those things at practice all the time. But we'll go back and see if we can't teach it better and get better production from our players.
David Conger.
Will, did you get any kind of explanation on the pick play that Florida scored on?
No.
Brian.
Coach, obviously pass defense wasn't where you wanted, but you guys ended up using a lot of that dime package with RJ at linebacker. And what did that kind of give you, and did that kind of help in certain spots, given the overall context of the game?
Well, it just gives you more flexibility in coverage and more from a disguise standpoint to not have to cover down in some situations. But we'll continue to evaluate it moving forward to get our best 11 on the field.
Take 2 more questions. Eric and Colin. Eric?
Yeah, Will, another thing you'd stressed, it turned out to be a bright spot, was turnovers today. And you had a fumble recovery and an interception, both led to touchdowns and 14 points. And just how happy were you with that, and how important is that moving forward?
We've got to be more opportunistic, and we weren't very much in training camp. We didn't get the ball off our offense enough in training camp. So we need to continue to force it. We want 3 each game. That's our goal. Whether it's a 4th down stop, which we would include in that. So we've got to continue to try and find ways to get the ball off people.
Last question for Coach goes to Colin Taylor.
Yeah, well, it seemed like a big momentum swing in the first half. There was the final 3 minutes where you guys end up not scoring, and then they go out there and score. I guess, what did you think about the play calling there? What would you like to see from your offense, and kind of how big was that momentum swing for you?
Well, we felt like we were throwing the ball pretty well if we catch the football. So we threw 3 in a row there on a 3-and-out situation, and then we punted to them, not such a good punt. Give them in that situation. I believe we held them to a field goal right there to make it 24-14. In that situation, it was a good 3rd down stop. Questionable, deal right there to get them close down there, but I can't comment on that. Again, that was a momentum swing in the game. As far as that's concerned, Shai's got to be more active with his feet on the kickoff return, squaring the ball up, and not putting us in that situation. We were very fortunate to get out of that situation without having giving them a short field again. But there's no question that those middle 8, the last 4 of your first half, the first 4 of your second half, we came out defensively better in the second half there. But we gotta. That could have been a catastrophe for us right there.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.